I bring in my team right away when I'm retained on a case. I bring in experts and companies like MotionLit. Today it's essential to have visuals, have PowerPoints, have animation. Jurors expect it, they want it, and it's also much more persuasive. The case we're talking about today is Murillo versus U-Haul. Catastrophic brain injury case. Mr. Murillo rented a U-Haul vehicle that was unsafe and unfortunately had to jump out of it when it caught on fire and suffered just severe, massive brain damage.
The magnitude of damages was profound, and MotionLit was profound in what they did for us in that regard, creating an animation showing the brain damage, showing the surgeries that were done in the hospital to relieve the swelling on Eric Murillo's brain, and it had an incredible effect at the arbitration. The judges reacted to seeing the video in ways I don't think we've seen before. They verbally reacted to seeing the drain being drilled into Mr. Murillo's head at the hospital. And the damages are what the case is about. But you don't get to damages, you don't get justice for the historic damages that are done unless you can overcome the challenges with liability. Engines aren't supposed to catch fire. That's true. But we had to prove how and why the engine caught fire and what the defendants should have done to prevent it. And we couldn't have gotten there, I don't think, without having MotionLit make it come to life in their animation.
We brought MotionLit in. We brought them in for liability and we brought them in for damages. And then the real difficulty is with retired judges and professional mediators, how can you explain to them the severity of a person's suffering and convince them that this really is a significant 8-figure case? I find it's easier with jurors, but with judges they tend to be much more analytical, much less emotional, and it's harder. The cases are harder both on liability and damages. And so what we did is we worked with MotionLit and we said, hey, we want an animation showing exactly what happened.
And MotionLit was one of the warriors with us. They would be available 24 hours a day and be talking to experts to see what part was slightly out of place and what needed to be changed. And on a moment's notice, MotionLit went to work and they'd fix the animation and they'd work on it. And I'm so grateful that they were in the trenches with us, that they were warriors with us, that MotionLit was fighting with us so that we could fight for a truly deserving victim and win historic justice for somebody who really deserved it.
If you hire MotionLit, they know what they're doing. They've been here before and they've done it before, even if the lawyer hasn't. So they can help work with the lawyer, work with the lawyer's team, and put together products that you can use for settlement, or you use them in trial or arbitration. So I think it helps to bring MotionLit in early so they can do what they do to help you be better at what the lawyers do.